Alrighty, thanks to without any other way, because I suck at keeping up with these kinds of things. There is a collaboration between Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy XIV. The only reason it's actually interesting to me is that it will give item level 745 weapons. Now, I am simultaneously farming purple gathering scripts in order to buy all of the how do I put this? All of the journals, or what are they called? It's 1600 purple gatherer scripts in order to buy one journal thingy that allows you to mine high-level material. Mine, quarry, log, gather, whatever high-level materials from Dawn Trail zones. And I have to do a bunch of them, so that's what I'm going to be doing a lot today. And that is in order to craft things like the item level 770 HQ version, mind you, hopefully, if I can figure out how to do it. The Courtly Lover's Cane for my White Mage. My Black Mage is also 100, so they'll do the Black Mage Courtly Lover's Scepter. My Dragoon is also 100, so we'll do the, And I'm also doing the Paladin Sword and Shield and the Red Mage Degen and the Sage's whatever it is, and... Is that it? Oh wait, doot. Yeah, that's it. That covered all of them. I don't know where the paintbrush is. My best guess is that it is in... No? Oh yeah, it is. It's in the same section of alchemy as Summoner and Scholar. I should probably add that to my list of materials that I should get. But yeah, the ore for the double... Okay, you guys don't care. This video is about the Collab. So this is the White Wanderer, given to us by the Dawn Hunt Tracker. Are pretty close to 1313 in Tuliyollal. Here we go. Level 100. You have to have completed the Dawn Trail quest, which is, I believe, not the very last storyline quest that exists in this game, but certainly, I believe it was the final quest when Dawn Trail came out. It's like 7.0. Anyway, this human in colorful garb says, "Well, if it isn't Mercy, tell me, do you have a moment? Animal carcasses have been turning up one after the other over in Shaaloani, and we've yet to figure out why. We were preparing to launch an investigation, but then we received this." He hands me something. It looks like kind of a orangish, brownish, yellowish paper color. It has, I don't know, kind of looks like a dragon and a yeti mixed a little bit, and then there's like a bunch of like arrows around it, or like in the same color as the dragon, as if maybe attached to the dragon. I don't know. Dragon yeti. And a distinctive style to be sure, but it's undoubtedly a mark bill. No less peculiar than the client who delivered it either. Too small for a Hetzaro, and yet too furry to be a Lalafell. Whatever distant land they hail from, I doubt I've ever heard of it. Too small for Hetzaro. Hetzaro are they the Makotes? Is that what they call Makotes in this land? I don't remember. Wait, no, Lalafell. He wouldn't say... whatever. I'm thinking of Alexandria. They call all the races different things. What's a Hetzaro? I don't remember what those are. Oh, is that like the lion people? I don't know. Whatever. My options are: the bill's design is certainly different, or looks like prey worth hunting, or I feel like I've seen a bill like this before. I don't know that. Looks like prey worth hunting. Lately, there have been sightings of a large beast roaming the plains, which we believe is responsible for the rash of carcasses. From what I've heard, it bears a striking resemblance to the creature depicted on this bill. To be frank, we'd all rest easier if the one who helped fell Valigarmanda were the one to take this on. Would you lend us your strength? My options are, I was yearning for a good hunt, or if it's been deemed a threat, it must be eliminated. If it's been deemed a threat, it must be eliminated. Determined look on my face. Indeed, this is a matter we would be wise to approach with all due caution. It'd be best to speak with the client directly, as they'll be able to apprise you of all the details. They should be hanging about the tavern in Husatawi. If you don't, these Shaaloani, probably at all the zones, I don't remember for sure, but very tough spellings and pronunciations in some way. H-H-U Sam A Tom A-H-W-I. Husatawi. I expect you'll have no trouble finding them. And the camera just pans out a little bit. Quest accepted in kind of blue Greek-ish lettering with the symbol of like a bird, also blue. I don't know, with the tail. It could be like the dragon with the tail around it. Husatawi is the first town that you would come across when you enter Shaaloani for the first time. I believe you're roughly like level 95-ish or so when you come over here. Let's see what the monsters are, what the fates here. Fate's 92. Okay, yeah, roughly 95-ish. Right, we have a destination marker. Ooh, they might have released new Manderville quests with the update last night. I don't know. Cutscene. We're in like an old western kind of town. We see what kind of looks like my Palico minion. A cat with a lot of traveler's gear and backpack. Yellows and greens and maybe a fishing pole. He's trying to question a lady about something, but she seems to indicate that he smells bad. I come up behind the well-traveled kitty cat, who is, by the way, bipedal. He turns to me, and I ask him what's up. Yes, I'm the feline who put out the bounty on the monster. Are you a hunter? My options are an adventurer, to be precise, or when the mood strikes me, or no. Don't you mean meownster? I'll let that one soak in a bit. An adventurer, to be precise. Although, it would have been interesting to see what his reaction would be, or their reaction. I don't know if it's a boy cat or a girl cat. When in doubt, it's a he. I don't care. Then you must be familiar with monsters of all kinds, in which case, I have one I'd ask you to hunt, assuming you're up for it. I pat my chest a couple times, like I got this. Wonderful! You don't seem to have a grand hub for hunters in this land, so I was beginning to lose hope I'd find anyone. I cock my head at that. I'd better begin by telling you how I arrived here. It relates to our mark, you understand? Cutscene goes white. We do indeed see a dragon, spiky. It seems to have more than one tail. Spiky, whitish, stonish, maybe crystallish. It's the coloring on this current picture is a little bit like kind of grayish, so I don't really know. The mark in question, none other than Guardian Arkveld. Arkveld? Okay. The creature normally resides in the Forbidden Lands. My comrades and I were in the midst of investigating its territory when... New scene. We see what looks like Omega. In like an outer space kind of thing on a rock floating in space. A spider-like thing appeared as if out of nowhere. Before we could make heads or tails of what it was, a cocoon nearby burst open, and from it emerged a newborn Arkveld. The two then began to clash in a fierce battle for supremacy. As the battle came to a head, the mysterious invader created a ring glowing with light. Before we knew it, the Guardian had disappeared without a trace. A new scene, the cat guy and his kind of raptor-like chocobo with greens and purples as its, yeah. And then, all All before me turned white. When I came to, I found myself in this land of Tyrol. Oddly enough, the invader spoke just moments before the flash. I think it said, program, loop, upgrade. I have no idea what that means, but I'm guessing it has to do with why I'm here. I was searching for a way home with my companion when I learned that a guardian Arkfeld was wreaking havoc nearby. I thought it best that I recruit a hunter to take it down before it could bring ruin to the wilds. I crossed my arms, nod at him to continue, or, now that you're up to speed, I'd say we better get started. Or I guess I was nodding that I understand. He goes walking off, I go following. We go walking toward the creature. Excuse me, sorry. We talked to these stray, they spelled feline, Frank E-L-Y, Nancy E, but stray feline to continue. I'm sure this goes without saying, but when tracking prey, it's important to know what signs to look for. Every creature leaves its own unique trail. Guardian Arkfeld's most distinctive traits are its white coat and scales, as well as the chain-like tendrils on its forelimbs, which it can extend and retract at will to bind its prey, if it doesn't slice you to pieces first. Whatever ground the beast treads, it's certain to leave behind marks from dragging its tendrils. From what I've heard, it was sighted in an area north of here called Yatanane. Y-A-W Tom A Nancy E. Yatanane. Let's see if we can't find signs of its passage. I'm regretfully unfamiliar with the monsters in these parts, so hope you don't mind taking the lead in our search. And he is accompanying me. We get an optional little box for dialogue with him. We'll do discuss Husatawi. I noticed there are quite a few people in this town carrying curious weapons. I took such folk for hunters at first, but it turns out they're members of a group that catches folks up to no good. The Dust Watch, I think they're called. The hunters on my land are no strangers to capturing their quarry either. You know, we use shock or pitfall traps to immobilize the beast, and then unleash a barrage of trank bombs to put them to sleep. I happen to be an expert at laying traps, so I'd be happy to put my talents to use should any fugitives cross our paths. And then just a general talk that won't change ever. It's easier to track monsters that leave something behind, but in Arkfeld's case, that'll be tricky. I think the best we can hope for is a few strands of its fur or markings left by its tendrils. We mount up and head to the northeast. Find some monster tracks. I don't actually see any tracks on the ground, but a heap of withered weeds. It bears an unmistakable resemblance to the plant matter found on tumbleclaws native to the region. Doesn't seem different. I gather these dried weeds were left behind by a monster that uses them to camouflage itself. They certainly bear no connection to Arkfeld. Yeah. In the Forbidden Lands, there are creatures called Mimifita. Mary I, Paul H, Y, Tom A. That also mimic flowers to hide. Disguise themselves with headwear in the spitting image of Mimifita. I'm not pulling your tail when I tell you it was impossible to distinguish them from the real thing. In any case, I don't see any sign of Arkfeld here. Let's keep looking. We go to the west with another optional dialogue, which I would love to take. Always do. Oh, come on now. Go away. You don't want none of this. Thank you, bye. Discuss Shaaloani. As I understand it, sandstorms sometimes sweep across these plains. Is that right? The Forbidden Lands similarly have a tumultuous climate, the environment shifting greatly with the change of seasons. In the fallow period, the land grows barren, so monsters fight over what limited food they can find. And come the intense weather conditions of the inclemency period, apex predators begin to emerge, making it a very precarious time. But after that comes the period of plenty, when flora and fauna flourish in abundance. No matter the season, there's always something new to discover, bringing fresh excitement with each expedition. Are they trying to sell the Monster Hunter game to us a little bit? Yeah, monster tracks that also, again, I don't see anything, but... A pungent, sticky substance adheres to these clumps of yellow hair. Judging by the local fauna, these are likely the remains of a sunbeard gorged upon by a grasslands worm. Not sure what left this behind, but Arkfeld has white fur, not yellow. Come to think of it, all guardians have a white coat. Even the guardian variant of Rathalos, Crimson King of the Skies, is clad in white. At least that's what I've heard. But that is neither here nor there. We should get back to our survey. We go north. No more optional dialogue thingies. I have no real reason to go to that fate, even though as a bonus, like I don't need anything. I think that would, like for we'll see. I don't know, but I'm not doing it. This, however, is a very visible thing. We have like some stones on the ground and maybe like some slash marks, as if those things, those tendrils, are being dragged along. Cutscene. The cat is sitting on its butt, legs out in front of him, and I'm kneeling, one knee. The markings on the ground suggest something massive was dragged across it, with armor-like scales strewn about the area. It's like the fragments that look like stone could be fragments of scales. These scales? I'm certain they came from Guardian Arkfeld. He's jumping a little bit. I give a rock on kind of fist. To think it came so close to a settlement. Thankfully it turned away, but there's nothing stopping it from coming back. We need to find its lair before anyone gets hurt. With everything we found, I believe we have what we need to locate our prey. If we're to give proper chase, we should call on my comrade resting back in town. Could I trouble you to gather a few samples before we go? I pat my chest. I got it. I take a knee again. Cutscene. We get the camera coming down from above, and I am up again. He gives me a bunch of nods. Very fervent. Goes waddling away. I go following. And we find his raptor-like Chocobo. Very raptor-like. My feathered friend here is called a Seikret. Sam, E-I-K-R-E, Tom. Not only does it make for a reliable mount, but it can also carry all the essentials for a hunt thanks to its sturdy build. And that's not all. It can even memorize a monster's scent and track it down. Try letting it smell what you gathered. I give him a nod. Hand out what I gathered. It lowers its head a little bit. Camera zooms in on it a little bit. It gives a raptor-like coo. It looks like he's picked up the scent. Now it can guide us to Arkfeld. There's no time to waste. If you would mount the Seikret and scout out the location of our mark, I'll see to preparations for the hunt. Here, take this link pearl contraption. I managed to barter for it after exchanging a few things with a traveling merchant. With this, we should be able to stay in contact even when we're apart. He hands it to me and I take it. Now then, you need only trust in the Seikret to guide you. I'm sure you'll find Arkfeld in no time. He goes off. The Seikret just kind of watches him go and then starts to walk away in a different direction, theoretically following the scent. I don't get to ride it. That's sad. We click on the Seikret to continue. The Seikret grunts cheerfully. It seems eager for you to climb on its back. Yay! Yeah, let's do it. Run, 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 Seikret, run, run. We are running north currently and a little bit west. Hello? Are you there? Oh, good. I can hear you. This link pearl is a true gem. I can't take a drink because he might talk. And it's not clickable. Though Arkfeld lay dormant within its cocoon for a long time, guardians are said to awaken when they sense a powerful presence nearby. You have to be very fast. The camera zooms. It may have turned back after approaching the settlement because something even stronger drew its attention. We see tracks with more of the scales or whatever. So we're going in the right direction. We're not really on a road, but we kind of see wagon tracks maybe. Like this is a well. That stormy dome in the distance marks a land dominated by fierce lightning storms, right? I sure hope that's not where Arkfeld was headed. Oh my god, so fast. I hate it. They don't expect people to have to read these out loud. Not that I have to, but that's what I do. That's what I like to do. We turned off the trail, going up a very rocky hill. On top of the hill, we see a dead pterodactyl-looking thing. What? You found the remains of a monster? Quick, examine the corpse to see if there are any signs it was preyed upon. cutscene. Zoomed in of the pterodactyl head and me walking to it. We look over and see those same scale fragments nearby. The beast has breathed its last. You see no bite marks on its body, suggesting the creature may not have been attacked as an act of predation. We call our kitty cat. I'd expect as much from a guardian. You see, unlike your average monster, they have no need to eat their prey. I think Arkveld may be fixated on the energies in this place and felling any other monsters that get in its way. My options are sounds like a Tyrol withdrawal, or it doesn't need sustenance to survive. It doesn't need sustenance to survive. It's all rather complicated, but in short, guardians do not possess an organ for digestion. That's why they never attack out of a desire to feed. The ground shakes. I run to the edge of this hill that we're on. It's got a very flat top surface. We look around and we see some of the buffalo-like creatures running, and we see a dragon fighting what looks like... What? That sounds like a turf war. Clearly Arkveld's been on the edge since it arrived here. I bet it's lashing out at anything it deems a threat. At this rate, it's going to be to throw the whole ecosystem out of balance. We have to stop it. But how? Oh, I've got it. Try taking out a pod from the pouch on the cycret. You'll know you found the right one if it makes your nose wrinkle. I run to the Mount Raptor Chocobo. It is okay, so it seems like there's a bunch of like really tightly dense black kind of twine or twigs or something in a ball. Around it is brown kind of yarn or twine. Not as tight at all, like very, very large gaps here and there, but it's called a dung pod, and as you've undoubtedly noticed, it possesses a frightfully fetid smell. Whether it's a single monster or even a horde, a well-positioned throw would send even the most rabid beasts packing. It has no effect on guardians, but the scent should be unbearable for whatever Arkveld's fighting. Throw it with everything you've got. Give a nod. It's like some kind of large worm with some tentacles out of its face. A sandworm doing sandworm things. Breathing the sand at Arkveld, the whitish, grayish dragon, who like whips its tendrils at the worm a couple times. Very fierce battle. The worm is charging something up. Arkveld grabs one of the tendrils that was charging up and then whips the worm around, who rolls but is seemingly okay. The worm dives at Arkveld. They face off again. Arkveld's tendrils all go up in the air a bit and get red energy all around them. It dashes at the worm. Hits it. The worm... I guess after we threw the dung ball, while the Arkveld was dashing at the worm started to slither away in like the resulting dust. And Arkveld turns its face to me. No eyes visible under like the white, gray, glowing carapace that kind of acts as a helmet. Kind of flashing a light purple. We're staring each other down. But it turns and then flies into the air and flies off. I say something into the link pearl. Arkveld fled as well? Perhaps it perceived you too as a threat, and returned to its den to recover its strength. While I'm sure you'd love to give chase, I'd like to regroup first. Stay put for a moment. I'll be there in 2 shakes of a Rathalos's tail. Rathalos apostrophe S. Rathalos's. Rathalos's. We talk to the stray feline. We are in the northern middle-ish part of Shaaloani. Right at the edge. Had that turf war continued, it may have reached nearby settlements. Thank goodness the dung pod worked as well as it did. Arkveld's lair appears to be further ahead. I expect it's I give a fist and palm. While you were searching for the Guardian, I took it upon myself to put together a camping kit. Let's set up shop near Arkfeld's lair and prepare for the grueling hunt before us. Sure. I'm gonna go all the way up until we can actually get the fight. Thing is, the only explanation for the fight I can find online is for Savage, which I saw a video of the fight in normal, and it looked like all the mechanics are roughly the same with, you know, some key exceptions that make Savage more difficult, more coordination needed. But we have a yellow kind of curved tent that kind of almost looks like a pumpkin face. Like you have like an eye that's a window, an eye that's a window. This part's the nose, the opening that you can walk into, and then like a red blanket kind of around the top, and roughly five stakes, pentagonal. Here's the feline to, and we have the exit. Yeah, to continue. Come, make yourself at home. No need to worry about any pesky monsters. I've already checked the area and we're perfectly safe. First things first, we feast. One should never hunt on an empty stomach, as we hunters say. I managed to gather everything we need to have ourselves a barbecue, so let's get to grilling. And hands me something. Cutscene. I sit on a little like a chair that folds itself out. I get a burner going. I pull out a huge slab of ribs, way bigger than the burner, and it's cooked within 10 seconds. I pull out a large knife and slice it into 6 different ribs, like tomahawks, and I start chomping on one of them. The cat is cheering, and we get a little like ching-ching, like little animation that we have buffed ourselves or something. I'm assuming that's a monster. I've seen that happen in like Breath of the Wild, or like one of the Zelda games where you can cook and give yourself bonuses that way. I mean, obviously I have food that gives me bonuses, but anyway. Oh shoot, I have more things. I can get rid of those. I didn't even notice. Cutscene again. Delicious! Now with your appetite sated and spirit soaring, I bet you could take on even the mightiest of monsters. Here, take these mega potions as well. They'll come in handy during the hunt. Hands me something. They're a special blend of the potions distributed by the Hunters Guild, mixed with fresh honey harvested by yours truly. Thankfully, we were in a period of plenty just before I was transported here. With that, I think you're all set. Allow me to formally make my request. Please hunt Guardian Arkfeld and protect the life on these plains. I give a nod, determined to look. The cat gives like a fist in the air kind of thing. The Windward Wilds, now accessible. You'll gain access to a mega potion. That's one of the things I don't really know what it does, but I'm assuming at some point. Wait, I did do something like this before. What was that? Wasn't it I think it was a solo thing though. I don't know. Anyway, the stray feline the mount that we're calling Secret, and myself. We thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and the next video will be the fight. See you soon. Oh, that's not how it goes. Hold on. Wait, that's not. Oh, what am I doing? Have I ever done this before? Dummy. Bye. Also, gotta get rid of these. I already have them over here. Okay, bye again.